Hey everyone, welcome to another Transformers review. This is the Masterpiece MP-46 Blackwidow, or as we know her, Blackarachnia from the Beast Wars subline of Masterpiece. And yes, she is a spider, you can see that, and we'll put that spider off to the side. We'll look at this box real quick, because yep, it's a typical Masterpiece Beast Wars back at this point. You got the little Beast Wars eye behind, you got the photos of it, long off design, you know, number, Destron Spy, 35th anniversary logo, the Beast Wars logo there, you got logo on the top, you got a spider picture on the top, this side, you got a robot mode picture on this side, you got I guess warnings and copyrights on all that stuff in this bottom here, made in Vietnam, and on the back you got product information and photos and what's in the box and all that stuff here. Typical Masterpiece box. You also get, of course, the instructions, which are helpful for one way anyway. You got, which also of course includes more product shots and how to use the accessories and whatnot. And you have her bio card right here, which it's got a bit of good artwork there and more, you know, information on the back here and tech specs and all that stuff, which again, I can't read. But anyway, here's Blackarachnia in her spider mode. You can see, yes, that's a spider of sorts. So yeah, this is one of the, I think, big things that people are kind of upset about with this Masterpiece, which is, you can see her legs, her robot legs right there. You can see her robot arms underneath. If you look carefully, you can see her robot head. Yeah, it's one of the, probably the most compromised beast modes so far. I mean, most of the Beast Wars masterpieces have some sort of compromise. Every single one of them except Megatron have some sort of compromise. This is probably the most compromised of them all so far. Because, yeah, you can just see it's a really curled up robot really trying to look like a spider. Like, so a lot of people really don't like this beast mode, which I get. Personally, I'm not so much a fan of it either, but, like, they really tried because, well, let's be real, Blackarachnia's beast mode was, well, they really cheated to make it work in the show. So this was I honestly say, I have to say this was somewhat of a noble effort to make it work and still be a masterpiece. But yeah, you could see, yeah, they tried. They tried. It didn't fully succeed, but I don't know, A for effort, but yeah, execution is still kind of lacking, unfortunately. You know, you still get the nice little, there's a texturing right here. There's a texturing on this bits right here, kind of, you know, a lot of the spider bits right here. You got of course, the hourglass symbol right here. Your little spider eyes are picked out here. You got the copper on the legs and copper and black on the mandibles there. You know, it looks pretty good. It's, you know, black and copper color scheme. It looks pretty, you know, with a nice texturing. It looks pretty decent overall. Not on that front anyway. But yeah, posabilities. Pretty much every leg is a ball joint at the bottom base, and then yeah, a hinge right there in the middle of the leg, and that's pretty much it. On that side, there's mandibles can open and close. If I can do this, I don't want to accidentally push on something I shouldn't. You can see the mandibles can open and close right here. Very, very slightly, you know, and the head can, the head's on a joint, a little bit of a ball joint, so you can have up and down, a little bit of side to side, not a whole lot there, and tilting. And the mandibles themselves also have their own separate hinge right there. So that's the chunk, that's your articulation in beast mode. The thing about the legs also, the legs, a lot of them, you're probably noticing this one kind of keeps drooping. Yeah, they're very loose. So far, I've pretty much seen nothing but wide reports that the legs are incredibly loose in beast mode here. And tendency, and I had this problem initially too, which is the legs have a tendency to pop off during transformation a lot, which is really frustrating. And yeah, I put floor polish in the ball joints, which has helped a lot, but it's still not amazing. They're holding as of right now. Before they all just kind of would droop really easily. This one's still kind of droopy, but it used to be a lot worse, and they used to pop out really easily. Now they hold pretty well for me, and I'm able to transform without popping the legs off, so that's good. But there's a good chance yours will have that, and she can kind of. I mean, there's another thing, which is her legs. As you see, she's actually touching the ground. This bit's touching the underside. You can, if you put enough floor polish and position the legs right, can get her completely off the ground. It's just not easy to keep her standing like this. And she has a tendency to just, yeah, collapse under her own weight. But you can do it. You can see that. See if I can get the camera low enough. You can see that she is off the ground entirely. So it is possible. It's just, I'll probably need some floor polish to do so. But it's possible, but I suspect it wasn't necessarily intended because it's supposed to be the illusion. Like, you're supposed to pretend all this undercarriage is not there, and this part's supposed to help keep it propped up. But you can do it if you are willing to try. Just know that that's the way it is. Accessories which work in beast mode. Let's see. Well, you got the stand. Well, that's part of another chunk of accessories. Yeah, it's the same sort of stand that came with Dinobot, except the arm's different. It's kind of a more standard arm. But yeah, and this can peg in with the rest of the stand that Dinobot came with. Or came with Dinobot, that's what I should say. And yeah, you can use the accessory, this part right here, with the spider web, which comes in 4 pieces and you got to assemble it yourself. Yeah, you got the spider web, which you detach this. You got to use this piece. This is translucent plastic. This is also translucent plastic. This is kind of a more softer plastic. It's not rubbery. It's not super rubbery, but it's kind of it's a hard rubbery, I guess. It's softer than this. This is hard translucent plastic, and mine broke. I don't know how well you see this, but yeah, I'm not sure how well you can see that. But that right here, this snapped right here the first time I put it on. Like, literally the first time. It snapped, well, not when I put it on, when I pulled it off. It just snapped. Because what you're supposed to do, I'm going to be really careful, hopefully it doesn't snap. You're supposed to put this on like that. This piece right here, and this is supposed to go over top. There's a hole right here, and you're supposed to put it over top this thing right here, like this. Right? There you got the spider web, and that's your span, right? This piece is supposed to clip over this. And usually what happens is when you do those, things start, well, undoing themselves because of the amount of pressure you got to put on it. I got lucky this time it didn't pop off. And then you just... get the legs out of the way so you can actually put it on and hopefully not... Yeah, because most people recommend, and I would too, to, if you're going to do this, which, hey, look, it worked, to take the blue piece off and attach it to the little, the hook cloth thingy that's pegged on, tabbed on the other side there, to, let's see if I can do this. Yeah, to basically put it on like this and then tab the spider over top of that. That's what most people recommend. I would probably recommend doing that too. I just got lucky showing you how you're supposed to do it. But yeah, just an FYI on that. So that works somewhat. I got lucky. I'm getting lucky a lot with this figure right now on film. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared. Usually things go wrong. But yeah, of course, this stand can... Yeah, the stand can... yeah, there's a... ratchet here. I'm actually a little worried about the plastic. Yeah, comparatively. Yeah, that's that. There's arm here. Yeah, there's a hinge there, and there's a hinge here as well. So there's quite a bit of a movement there. Now, of course, there's 4 peg holes, so you can pick in any one of these, whichever you want to do. That's your prerogative. So hopefully, this thing's kind of holding up, but I'm not sure about it. Yeah, I'm gonna be really careful with that. But yeah. Get that stuff out of the way for now. There's another accessory which works in this mode. And it's this. It's another hook thingy. Because this one's got a string attached to it. And this right here, there's a little tiny peg. What you do is, right here, there's a little peg hole. And you plug that in. Hopefully that, yeah, I think I messed that up when when I plug this in, I mess things up. Okay, I'm going to try to plug this in and hopefully not mess things up more. All right, got it on. Good. And then this, you can hook this onto something and then, hey, look, she's hanging. I'm not sure how secure that is. I'm not sure entirely about it, but yeah, that does work. Oh God, the strings. Yeah, so yeah, that's a thing. All right. That is absolutely 100% a thing you can do. Ooh, yeah, see, the thing is tight enough that I just accidentally popped this off. Yeah. Yeah, so there's some stuff you can do in the spider mode. But yeah, it's some parts are fragile. And the spider mode itself is kind of I mean, again, I don't dislike it as much as other people, but yeah, it is pretty weak especially compared to other Beast Wars Masterpiece so far. It's just the spider mode is unfortunately a bit on the weak side. So why don't we go ahead and get into robot mode real quick, and we'll talk about some more stuff there. There we go. Robot mode is, yeah. See, the thing is about the robot mode is really good and actually really show accurate and whatnot, very much show accurate, regardless of whether or not that's a good thing or not. But yeah, it's Blackarachnia. It's show accurate Blackarachnia. It's, they did a pretty good job of getting this one done, and I'm not surprised that they wanted to get this one done, considering. Yeah, so you got Blackarachnia here. She's she's now a lot more gold showing up, and a little bit of green, some purple here and there. The little Predacon logo on her collar there. Yeah, it's yeah, she looks really good. You know, it's this is the sacrifice that this is what the sacrifice the beast mode for was very fairly clean robot mode with no real kibble except for what's supposed to be there from the show. Yeah, it does a really good job of cleaning up and everything. Head even technically lines up in the right spot because those are supposed to be kind of the eyes from the spider mode, and the head's right there, so it's kind of more or less in the right spot. Yeah, it's really well painted out. They got this little effect here to kind of emulate the weird faux chrome or whatever, to trying to emulate the what the show, the really weird shiny metal texturing from the show. So they got this weird this finish here on the legs, which kind of helps emulate that a little bit. It kind of looks neat in person. Yeah, I really do like this quite a bit. It's a good Blackarachnia. And of course she's got her gun, which, once again, you can just put that in, and there's little pegs on the side of the handle there, which little hole right there in the pincers, hand pincer things, so you can kind of hold in either hand if you can get it on there. It's kind of difficult to see what you're doing because of there we go. Yeah, you can get in there in her hand. And she can hold her gun. It's a matter of getting her to hold it in such a way that doesn't look crooked and weird. There we go. She can hold her gun. Yeah, so she looks good. Really good. The thing is, she's kind of small. Well, she's supposed to be. I mean, she was not, if you remember the show, she was not exactly a tall robot. But here's the Masterpiece Megatron. Which, yeah. You can see the size difference there. I mean, it's quite the size difference. She comes up to his hips. Yeah, it's more or less accurate. I think some people might sit there scrutinizing the exacts, but hey, I think it's more or less correct. Just to give you a really good idea, here we go. Here's a current mainline Lux Siege Mirage. She's a bit taller than a Deluxe. And 8-face. Yeah, she's like more or less kind of, shorter than the Voyager, taller than the Deluxe, somewhere in that range. Yeah, she's over $100. that's a thing. Yeah. Articulation wise, I'm going to go ahead and get this gun out of the way for this part. Articulation. She's got a ball jointed head, so lots of range there. Up, down, waggle, left and right. She's also got a little hinge there at the neck as well, so there's a lot of extra range for forward and back. Shoulders, up and down, all around. Her shoulder pads can move as well. Outward range, pretty good, and plus she's got another hinge right here for more. There's a bicep swivel right here. There's a second bicep. There's an elbow swivel right there. This is mostly for the transformation, but hey, you got multiple swivels there. Got a double jointed elbow right there if you want. Her claw hands, there's a hinge there. There's a second hinge here, but it's a maximum range. There, this can fold in. There's a hinge on this inner part as well, and the second hinge right there. So lots of range there. Her waist, there's a lot going on here. So it can rotate, right? But there's also, there's a kind of a ball, yeah, there's not really a ball joint. It acts like a ball jointed waist, but it's actually a little, a second swivel here. So yeah, you can get, so there's a lot of, there's also kind of an ab crunch you can go on, which because of there's that multiple hinges back there, you can kind of extend it out and get her bent forward a little bit. Like that. There's a lot, yeah. So there's a lot of range there at the waist. The waist is kind of an interesting one, to say the least. Her waist is kind of limited rotation-wise just because of how it works, but honestly, you don't really need more than that. Hips, no. Hips can move forward and back, outward, quite far. There's a lot of again, lots of range here at the hips. There's also this little joint here, which is for specific poses. Yeah, you can see that. That joint's more or less for the cross-legged pose they like to have her in. There's a thigh swivel right there. A knee. It's a single hinge, but because of how it transforms and stuff, there's a lot of range there. And ankles. There is an ankle tilt. Either way, about this far. And you got forward and back as well, although that's really stiff. Be careful with how a lot of the people reporting theirs are really, really stiff. They loosen up a little bit over time as you transform it and move it and stuff. But when you move it, grip it down here near the hinge. Don't like use the toe as the fulcrum or anything. Grip it down here, because I've heard people snap theirs. So just be careful with that. And also the heel can move inward if you need it to support the foot or whatever. So yeah, lots of articulation on her. Like, genuinely a ton of articulation, and you can get some pretty good poses out of her, including, yeah, again, because these joints right here are just so you can actually do a cross-legged pose like this. See, that's literally, my understanding is that is literally the whole purpose of those joints, so she can do her little cross-legged pose. You know, imagine she was sitting on something, you know, just so she can do a cross-legged pose if she wants. That's literally their only purpose as far as I can tell. They don't really offer much beyond that. Yeah, they don't extend the hips out or anything. So, yep, you got that. So if you want that pose, you can get that pose. You just gotta have her to sit on something. Yeah. Pretty darn good posability overall, though. Now, a couple of other accessories she has, of course. She has 2 alternate faces. I believe this is not the default face I have on her right now. She has her, I can't remember. I think this is either when she was possessed, Tarantulas was living in her head, or when she had those codes for the arc. Because you can see this has the green eyes and just kind of open. I suspect this is when Tarantulas had her. And this is the neutral face right here. You know, and her black eyes and the kind of a neutral mouth. And this is her kind of the subtle smirk face. This is the one I'm probably going to leave on for the most part. Swapping is pretty easy. You just kind of get a good grip on and just pull it off. It's just a simple pegs right there. And just, yeah. Peg on another face. Like that. That's one thing you can do. She also comes with, if I could get it off, a visor. Or the little visor from, again, which actually is translucent green plastic right there. Yeah, it's translucent green. That just slides over her face. Be careful about paint scratching, but just kind of slides on. Just got to get it lined up so it's tabs in properly. Or not tabs in, but you know. Hooks on properly if I can just... There we go. And it's got this little cable. There is a spare cable. This doesn't peg into anything as far as I can tell, but there's the cable. There's a spare one just in case you lose this one or break it or whatever. So, I don't know. Maybe be careful with it. I'm not sure if it's like fragile or what, but they included a spare one for a reason. There's that. I'll swap it back to the other face. This one's a little more tricky to get out. Which one is this? Yeah. Oop. One thing I didn't forget to mention, you could swap these around so she can do her machine gun spider legs. So you can rotate those around right there at this piece right here. Machine gun spider legs, woo! Right. We'll throw these back so they're out of the way again. Somewhat out of the way. The other thing is, you can use that stringed piece on the gun if you want, somewhat. You're cheating a little bit, I think. But you can kind of use it, so if you want to have her doing her grappling hook thing, which she has done before, you have to peg this into the bottom right here of the gun. And with some finagling. Yeah. Yeah, so you can have her, you can kind of have her, if you want, you can have her swinging around like Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, I guess, in this case. Yeah, you can do that if you want. It's basically the same connection you use in Spider Mode, but just in a different spot. That's the thing. And of course, the stand. You can still use the stand in this mode. This, you gotta take this flap and move it up, and be careful with that. It kind of feels a little scary and tight. There's a peg hole right there, and you can, of course, you can just plug it straight on right here if you want. You just have a regular stand. Or, and this is how I discovered mine broke. This thing, you want it the other way. So, there we go. You want this kind of on the other way for this mode. This is where things get a little tricky, because now you have to fully extend this one out this time, and otherwise it doesn't work. And then this will work right here. Even then, it's kind of a finicky, especially with the spider legs. Get those out of the way, and then yeah, and again, same peg hole, but different peg. I can find it. See, that's what you're supposed to do. At least that's what it says you're supposed to do, and it works. That's just right up against things. I'm not sure how tenuous. That's kind of a tenuous thing, but hey, it does work more or less. Although you probably want to specific poses and whatnot, like carrot kicking off of it or whatever. Yeah, it does work. Just yeah. And so this spider thing is kind of neat, but again, mine broke real quick, so it kind of really soured me on this accessory entirely. Yeah, so it's kind of neat. She's got a little display stand, but I'm not sure I'm not sure how much I want to use it. Yeah. That's the thing. And just, again, I'm got a little nervous about this panel right here, just because I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up to bending like that. Come on, there we go. That can also be a bit of a pain to get that tab back in. But yeah, so Blackarachnia. She's like, well, I believe $110 or so total with shipping, at least from Amazon, Japan. Probably might cost you a little more than that if you buy domestically. She's an interesting figure, to say the least. Is she worth that? Okay, so her spider mode's not great, and a lot of people don't really like it. Her robot mode's fantastic. She looks great in robot mode. And I think a large chunk of her cost is basically comes down to she's got accessories, which... She's got those accessories that you'll want to deal with, I guess, in a way. She does have those accessories. I'm trying to get her to stand straight, and it's not working. So yeah, those accessories are kind of make up a large chunk of the cost, including that spider web in the stand, because she is small. And she's more expensive than Shido or Primal, I believe. And those, yeah. But things have changed over time. So I don't know. So she's small. It basically comes down to, do you really like Blackarachnia? And do you really want to just collect all the Beast Wars stuff like me? I'm going to be getting all the Beast Wars Masterpiece releases for sure. I mean, I loved the show growing up. So of course I'm going to get them. Why wouldn't I get them? But yeah, it's kind of a... Yeah, the amount they're asking is kind of cheeky, to be honest. We're starting to get to the point of it feels kind of really like they're starting to really see how far they can push it before people start to go no. So yeah, she is kind of spendy, but she is really good robot mode. Just comes down to, I think, basically, how do you feel about that spider mode? And are you going to really like the use of accessories? And how big of a fan are you of Blackarachnia? Because if you're not a huge fan of Blackarachnia, then there's no reason for you to get this. If you're just kind of like casually interested or just whatever, probably not worth it. But if you're huge in Blackarachnia and or Beast Wars as a whole, yeah, you probably get your money's worth out of it. She's a good figure, but it's just, I think, definitely as an action figure, she's really good. As general robot mode, she's really good. It's just, spider mode's iffy. Transformation, getting back to spider mode is a nightmare sometimes, just because getting it all lined up properly is just a huge pain in the butt, and just some for people not worth it. They got to the robot mode, like, okay, I'm good. Because they saw the spider mode. Of course, the whole other thing, which is some people are genuinely scared of spiders, including this one. But she looks great, and that's the problem. It's just she looks great, but is she $100-something great? And that's you're gonna have to decide that for yourself. I think I don't really know how you want to spend your money. I'm personally not. I personally find her worth it. But then again, I'm a huge Beast Wars fan. If you're just casually into Beast Wars, part of the Transformers or whatever, then she might be someone you might consider skipping. But if you're huge into Beast Wars or just really like Blackarachnia, then yeah, definitely I think she's worth it, even if just barely. So yeah, great robot, not great alt mode, really posable. Decent accessory account, which some people probably prefer not to have all those accessories, but hey, what can you do? That's it, I think. It's hard to really say one way or the other, but hopefully this look at it gave you an idea of whether or not she's worth it for you, if you haven't already bought her. I feel she's worth it. Others may disagree. But yeah, that's it. I said that like, 3 times now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Click notification bells. Check me on Patreon, Coffee, all that stuff. Hopefully hopefully you like this. Hopefully you stay around and see me. Check me on Twitter. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1. I'll probably be posting pictures of her and other figures I just got pretty soon. And of course this review and just whatever other stuff I happen to tweet about. So yeah, I hope you stick around, and I hope you check out my other reviews, because other ones should be coming out pretty shortly as well. So I hope to see you then.